Apple's web-based app store, and Jamf goes private. This is MacVoices. Today's MacVoices is supported by Clean My Mac and the new Cloud Cleanup feature. Get tidy today. Try 7 days free and use the code MacVoices20 for 20% off at cleanmy.com/MacVoices. MacVoices is supported by Incogni. Take your personal data back with Incogni. Get 60% off an annual plan at incogni.com/Chuck and use the code Chuck at checkout.
Ladies and gentlemen, from an undisclosed location, live to you, Mr. Underpants himself, Chuck Joyner, with special guest host Dave Ginsburg. Chuck, take it away.
Welcome to MacVoices. This is the Talk of the Apple community. What an intro. And I'm Chuck Joyner. And this is MacVoices Live. It's Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm not in the Eastern time zone, so it's another time where I am. We do this every Tuesday night, no matter where I am, or we try to. And so we would love to have you join us on any other Tuesday night. I will definitely sound better on other Tuesday nights because I was having trouble with my external mic. So I'm having to go with the built-in MacBook Pro mic. I do have a couple magic tricks up my sleeve though. So we'll see if I can sound a whole lot better than you may be hearing me sound now. A number of things to get through, as we usually have on Tuesday nights, and we have a fun panel here, as you could tell by the intro. So let's get to it. First up, in his usual position, Dave Ginsburg at the top left of my screen. Dave, good to see you.
Good to see you as well. I just got back from a trip. I was in Vegas for 4 days, so recovered from that and had a good weekend. But glad to be here with all of you.
Well, that's good. Has your credit card cooled off?
Oh, it's be fun to pay that bill. Oof.
Marty Jencius is here, and I think he's stealing Eric Bolden's thunder because he's got a friend with him tonight. Marty, how did this come about?
I got dragged out to a nature preserve this weekend and took my 17 Pro Max and shot this picture of a cardinal. And I remember Eric had a cardinal last week. His, I think, was up a tree, and mine was sort of flying from large bushes to bushes, which made him much easier to catch. And I know Eric is kind of a catch and release guy, but mine just did not have enough meat on its bones.
Marty, you need help.
Well, we already knew that.
Oh, this is great.
Eric's gonna just...
There's fluids coming out of every hole in Eric right now.
Eric is having an emotional reaction.
I wouldn't drink anything.
Yeah. All right. Brian Flanigan-Arthurs. I don't think you can top that, so I'm just going to say hello.
Hello. How's it going?
It's going great. Oh, I'm so glad I was able to do this tonight because we would have missed that. Eric Bolden is here, but it looked like he's under attack. What is that, Eric?
Well, I started the night with a chicken, and then I realized, it's more of a vulture evening. So I switched to a turkey vulture. And, after Marty did that with the poor cardinal, I figured if there's anything left, the turkey vulture can clean up.
You have quite an effect.
All right, everybody in the chat room, quick, caption Chuck.
Yeah. Should I continue the intros here?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's see if Chuck comes back.
Let's see. Yeah. Jeff Gamet is here. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing great, and I felt like I was missing out because I didn't have a cardinal, so I drew one real quick.
All right.
So now I can have a cardinal.
Nice.
Well, that looks like a really good cardinal.
Yeah.
And Webb Bixby is here. How you doing, Webb?
I don't draw, so
I don't either.
yeah. So
So doing great. Good to be here.
Yes, and I took care of your introductions there, the remaining of them, Chuck.
Thank you, Dave. So Jeff, good to have you. Webb, good to see you. Thanks so much. We're going to try this for a while, folks, but the internet gods are not cooperating tonight.
Hey, Chuck, just fair warning, you're probably going to want to look at the recording for that space while you weren't here. Just
Did you stand up, Jeff? Is that the problem?
I'm not telling. It's supposed to be a surprise.
That would have been a surprise. No question about that.
And it still can be.
Oh, man. All right. Well, hopefully this intermittent thing is not going to happen very often. Although I appear to have lost the chat room. Let me get that in. So for the first story,
I see the link already.
Yep. So this week, Apple launched an app store for the web, and
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Yeah.
I was kind of excited by this because it feels like that Apple has put all, from what I could see of it, and got the few minutes to test it out, everything is in one place. There are links you can actually make now to programs or options or apps that you want. And just in general, I was kind of pleased that Apple can finally spring something on us, because I don't remember seeing any rumors at all about this unless I just missed them. Did anybody else see anything, or was this a complete surprise to you all as well?
I think we all have comments.
Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah. Sorry. Oh, everything is out of place here. So Marty, you're up first.
Yeah, this came as a surprise yesterday because I didn't see the article on it, but we with Vision Profiles were looking at apps, and I had somebody give me a test flight that worked pretty well, and then went to search for it, and this page came up. And I was like, hey, wait a minute. It's got like a pull down menu where you can select what device you want.
Yeah.
And that might not be excited for a lot of other folks, but for folks with Vision Pros and folks who want Vision Pros, we have for 18 months been chasing around trying to find a place where we can find apps, and Apple has not been very good about including us in libraries. So we either have to get it off the device, which is real limited. These are the kind of hits of the day, or we have to use other resources that people have put together. And I just love this. And, you can find the apps that you want, and all the apps related to certain areas like productivity with the Vision Pro now, and just load them from there.
Marty, I'm embarrassed to say I didn't even think about the Vision Pro aspect of this. So that just makes me even happier. Hey, before I go on, I want to welcome Norbert Frassa. Norbert, it's great to see you. You've showed up here for the plane crash version of MacVoices Live.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good to have you, as always. Brian, you're up next.
All right. Yeah. I echo many of the comments that Marty brought up, but I also wanted to add just the usefulness that this website provides for even advertising to folks who don't have that particular product yet. So maybe they're in the Apple ecosystem in some ways, but not with some of the other devices. So it's a great way to kind of showcase what some of the apps might be for those people who might want to, maybe they don't have an iPad yet, but they use an iPhone. So just to kind of show some of the options there. And or some of the folks who don't even use Apple products, and being able to connect them and say, here's some of the great things that you might be missing out on.
I was just going to say the same thing that Marty did, that, I don't have a Vision Pro, and one of the things that might but one of the things that might entice me is that I'm able to see the apps that I can get through it. I'm sure there are probably other ways that I just haven't found yet, but I just appreciate what they've done here. Just being able to look at everything. That's my only comment. So.
Okay. So someplace deep down has frozen over because Kelly Guimont has rejoined the panel. Kelly, where have you been? It's great to see you.
Honestly, I've been at band practice. I have rehearsal on Tuesday nights and Thursday nights most of the time. And so that's part of why I also don't get to spend as much time on In Touch with iOS as I would like as well. So
I see. Okay, so we can't let that go. You got to tell us just a little bit about the band.
okay. Well, there's two. That's why I practice 2 nights a week. Because the thing I tell everybody is I've lived in Portland long enough that I was sort of obligated. Like after a certain amount of time, you just have to be in a band. So the one I started is named Precious Machinery, and it's a Susie and the Banshees tribute band. And I'm the lead singer of that band. And the other band is called Constant Debauchery, and I sing backup vocals for a Depeche Mode tribute band.
Hey, okay,
So
well,
that's what's up.
Kelly will be signing autographs after the show and taking photos for $25 a pop. So it's good to have you back, Kelly.
I hadn't thought about charging for that.
We
That might be a new business model.
You're welcome, Kelly. I'll take 10%.
Absolutely.
Dave, your thoughts on the App Store? Oh, Dave, you're muted. Unless my connection froze again.
Yeah.
Maybe we
No,
should
I
all
was
mute
muted.
so
Sorry about that.
Chuck thinks it's him.
Thanks, Jeff.
Hey, I didn't wear my gray shirt with the gear, so don't think it didn't cross my mind.
No, I was excited to see this. Like Marty said, we discovered it yesterday doing vision profiles, and to be able to break down every single device, including Apple TV and arcade. You can see the games on the web and get a good view of them. I was hoping that you could download them, especially Vision Pro, but it doesn't seem you can. But you can look at them anyway, because I like it. I like the fact that on the iPhone you can use the Vision Pro app and be able to add them to the queue, and it downloads the next time you connect your Vision Pro. And why can't you do that with all the rest of the devices too? So, but I think this is a good start, and glad to see that the Apple has done this, because it's a long time coming. Because the links are always horrible. You would click a link, you go to the web, and then it's open up the App Store. And now it's all on the web, and you can just look at it and be in one place.
Dave, I'm with you. I think it feels like the discoverability is a little bit easier because every time you click, you're not, pushing back to the App Store. And Apple has done a reasonably decent job, at least the last time I looked, of hiding the actual developer's website link. Because for a while it was obvious, then it sort of moved, and then I lost track of where they were putting it. So I like the idea now that I'll be able to go here, see everything, and hopefully they'll make that particular aspect of it a little bit later.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Welcome to the future of data privacy with Incogni. In today's tech-driven world, protecting your personal information from data brokers is more crucial than ever. Incogni is here to help ensure your data remains private and secure. This service is designed to help protect your personal data from data brokers who collect, aggregate, and sell it. Incogni is basically a digital hitman for your data. It hunts down all the shady sites, and poof, your personal information disappears. Incogni is also so thorough they go after all kinds of data brokers, marketing firms, credit companies, people search sites, recruitment data brokers, any sort of medical or police information, you name it. If they've got your info, Incogni is coming for it. You're covered in all areas. Did you know that your insurance provider might already know about your health risks before you do? Thanks to data brokers quietly selling your medical information, your bills could rise, even if you haven't been diagnosed. Take back control with Incogni. Delete your data, protect your wallet. Right now, you can get 60% off their annual plans by heading to incogni.com/Chuck and using the code CHUCK at checkout. It also is completely risk-free. Incogni offers a 30-day money-back guarantee if you're not satisfied with them removing your personal data off the internet. Live free from dangerous spam by using Incogni. That's incogni.com/Chuck for 60% off their annual plans. Again, right now you can get 60% off an annual plan by going to incogni.com and use the code CHUCK. That's incogni.com/Chuck and use the code CHUCK at checkout.
Thanks to Incogni for supporting MacVoices. This edition of MacVoices is supported by Cloud Cleanup, part of Clean My Mac from MacPaw. Everyone in business has that one cloud drive that's bursting at the seams. Random reports, duplicate PDFs, half-finished presentations. It's digital clutter, and it quite literally quietly kills productivity. That's why you need Cloud Cleanup from MacPaw. Cloud Cleanup finds and removes unnecessary files from your cloud storage, like iCloud or Google Drive, and frees up space you actually need to get work done. It scans for duplicates, unused documents, and those final revised files that everyone forgets about. In minutes, your cloud goes from chaotic to clean. No sorting, no risk, no lost data. Think of it as Clean My Mac for your cloud. Whether you manage client files, media assets, or reports, Cloud Cleanup helps keep your workflow efficient and your cloud costs down. And because it's made by MacPaw, you know it's secure, smart, and built with privacy in mind. So if your cloud storage feels more like an archive than a workspace, it's time to take control. Get tidy today. Try 7 days free and use the code MacVoices20 in all caps for 20% off at cleanmy.com/MacVoices. Again, that's cleanmy.com/MacVoices, clnmy.com/MacVoices, and the code MacVoices20 in all caps for 20% off. Cloud Cleanup from MacPaw, your digital fall cleaning made effortless. Thanks to MacPaw for supporting MacVoices. Dave, another one I want to point to you because I know Jamf is a big thing in your world, and this just came out this week.
Wait, Chuck, did you just say I'm a big thing in Dave's world? That's really sweet.
You know what I said?
I would agree with that statement as well.
Jeff, did I say Jeff or Jamf?
You said Jamf.
I said Jamf, yes.
Whatever. I'm out of here.
Yes. This is one
I
of
agree
those.
with the statement anyway, John.
Yeah, you got to be nice to Jeff, or he'll put his pants on and go home.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Yep, another night out of control.
You missed me.
Yes, we did.
Jamf has entered into an agreement to be acquired by Francisco Partners. I don't know about you, but I didn't see this coming. I thought Jamf was pretty happy being a standalone. Dave, do you have any insight into this at all?
I'll just give them a comments about it. They went public about a year ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
And the stock didn't do that great. I invested in it briefly, and I started seeing the trends were just kind of like this level and kind of a little dip in there. But I think business wise, my opinion, I think Jamf needed to be private and have enough investors like this instead. The way their business has grown like crazy. And I mean, Kelly can give comments too. She works with Jamf as well. And the fact of the matter is that it is still the de facto MDM for Macs. I'm managing iPads now with it. I'm so excited about that because I'm doing both iPads and Macs now. So, it's just such a valuable tool to have to be able to manage these devices. But I'm not surprised at all that it was done. So, but good keep Jamf in good hands, good strength. So I would go with that.
Yeah. Kelly, do you have anything? Since Dave called you out.
I do. And part of it is like if what's happening is that they're gonna go private, that's great. I am glad of that. I don't want them the problem with this is that this sort of feels like a rock in a hard place in that Jamf is absolutely the elephant in the room if you're ever going to talk about mobile device management, but generally only at scale. Like if you're having to manage a handful of machines, maybe a little stack of machines, not a whole pile, to get technical about it, then I think you end up a little bit with there are some other options if you're not needing to learn all of the stuff that goes into Jamf. Like the word ecosystem is an accurate descriptor here. And the thing that I'm worried about is that when a lot of companies get acquired for whatever value of acquisition that might mean. When they're acquired by a company that is not in that business or in that field already, then I'm immediately suspicious, because this is going to be the kind of thing where they get hollowed out and all of the value is extracted, and then the shell is sold off somewhere else to go. The rest of the company, once it's not worth anything anymore, goes off to a farm upstate, right? And so that's the thing that I'm worried about, is that this is a company that has an excellent relationship with Apple, which is no small feat in and of itself. Number one, they're one that regularly gets name checked when you hear like official Apple events, when Apple talks about things in the enterprise. A lot of times Jamf is somewhere else in that exact same sentence. And so that's what I'm worried about here, is that what's going to happen is whatever it is that hedge fund, venture fund stuff is going to do is going to turn this into a company that isn't what it is now. It'll be less capable, less, there'll be less innovation possible with what they're doing, and that it's not going to be good for the people on the other end of it, like David and I, who are the people who manage those devices. And then it's going to be even harder for the people whose devices we're all managing.
Mark Fuccio couldn't be with us tonight. He's in the chat. He said that Jamf IPO'd in 2020. It's been in a downward ever since then, or downtrend ever since then. Strange ownership structure. Don't know what the ownership structure is, but Jeff. Oh, Dave, you know what the ownership structure is?
Well, I mean, Dean Hager was the original CEO when they went public. I mean, I met him years ago, and he had about 34% of the stock. So at this sale, so they have agreed to go ahead and do that. So other comment I was going to make is that Jamf used to have a product called Jamf Now, and it's gone. They're not even offering it for small business anymore. So Jamf really scaled, like Kelly said, to just enterprise. They really enterprise and healthcare. I think the two biggest businesses that Jamf has.
Jeff,
the MDM space that Jamf specializes in, this has been a volatile market for a while now. And look at what's happening with Jamf. Another example is just a few days ago, Kanji announced that they are expanding to support MDM for Windows. They were an Apple OS only company since their inception. And this was like a total shock to everyone. They're even changing the company name to Iru. And what I'm seeing here is that while Jamf ended up getting infused through this purchase, Kanji, which has been getting investor infusions over the past I want to say 5 years, something like that. I'm kind of pulling that number out of my butt, but something like that. They've been able to avoid what Jamf is dealing with for now. We will see what the market holds. And to be clear, I'm not implying anything. I'm just saying this is where we are now, and we're in a volatile market. So yeah, I think that we could watch what's happening with Jamf, what Kanji's doing, and whatever their trajectory takes them on, and other companies that are doing the same thing. And it's going to be kind of like a soap opera for the next few years.
100%, because there's also a lot of change happening in the MDM space, with particularly the things that Apple is doing with how that management happens. I'm not going to bore people with a bunch of details about it. You can go watch Dub Talks until you fall asleep, if that's really what you want to do. But the fundamental changes that are happening are also making it easier for other people to get into that space and for people to innovate in that space. So, for every, like off the top of my head, for every MDM we've name checked so far, there's 3 or 4 more that I can tell you about that I know exist that are doing this kind of stuff. And there's a lot to it. And there's becoming more of a need for it. As it becomes an easier thing to do, it becomes something that makes sense. It used to be you needed hundreds of machines before you had to invest any time and effort into MDM. And the threshold of that has continued to drop over time, particularly for security parameters for people who are in industries that have compliance. Compliance isn't you live by these rules, or it's you live by these rules, period. There is no or. It's the when your parents would say you're going to get it. You didn't know what it was, but you knew you didn't want any part of that. So this is the same sort of thing. Like, you have to comply. And now that there's more compliance issues, more concern issues, or compliance, security, things that you need to make sure everybody's computer has, that used to matter when you were a 500 employee company or a 100 employee company. And now it's like 5, because thanks to ransomware, scams, phishing, 0-day exploits, all the kind of stuff that people generate scary headline after scary headline about, all of those things are happening in every workplace, not just the companies that have buildings named after them. It's everywhere. It's somebody like me sitting in this room going to work right here at this desk every day is just as viable a target as somebody like David, who works for a big company, or Chuck, who works at a larger company than I do. You guys have you guys have just as much opportunity to get attacked in one of those ways. It doesn't matter where you work anymore. It doesn't matter what kind of target you are. And so having to manage all of those threats and stuff, device management is part of what makes that possible at any kind of scale. And by scale, I mean 2 devices, 5 devices, and so this space is going to continue to change and evolve as other companies start to try to get in there and innovate and make this stuff possible on a smaller scale, make this stuff easier on a smaller scale. That's why I'm sad about Jamf Now being gone, because Jamf Now was a really good example of that. Mm-hmm. And it was free for so many devices forever. I think Jump Cloud still has their free model. 10 users, 30 devices is what it used to be. And you need that kind of stuff just as a matter of course, just like you need to be able to take work calls on your cell phone, or you need to be able to, have an external monitor if you have a laptop all the time. Most people's work computers are laptops. As the work climate has continued to change in the landscape, device management has just become a huge part of that. And so this is going to absolutely continue to change and grow and evolve, just like Jeff's talking about.
Mark Fritcher in the chat room said, "Who is the leader in MDM for Apple devices?" Jamf was a bet. Jamf bet it could win. It failed. Who is winning? I think it's a fair question. Because my perception always was that Jamf, outside of corporate America, was the go-to for Apple devices. And so, and maybe that's changed. I mean, maybe, and Kelly, your points were so well taken, because in fact, I just had some conversations about this, in my professional world, where people think, well, I'm too small, I'll never get hit, it's like, no, you're missing the point. But on the other hand, how do you make MDM simple enough and cost effective enough to make it attractive when people don't believe that they need it?
Right.
So.
Well, and and another to leverage another piece of that, another one advantage you get from that is working with someone like me. I work for an MSP. So if you work at a company where you need to make sure everybody can get to their email all the time and everything like that, but you don't necessarily need a full-time IT person, you can contract that sort of thing out to an organization like mine. And part of doing that, part of what makes it possible for an MSP to do something like that is because there are MSP relationships with some of these MDM providers. So like Mosyle is one that I have used a lot. that has an MSP portal, which means I can have a whole bunch of different clients and I can apply the same security policies to everyone. I can manage at scale so that you don't even have to worry about it. You can know you need it, but you don't have to send somebody off to the airport Ramada to go spend a week learning device management so they can come back and be the device management person. You can call me and we can set that all up for you. And and that's the other piece of this is that's a hugely growing market for device management because, I worked at a place that was 4 people and we managed over 1,000 endpoints. And part of the reason that was possible was because device management made it easy for us to get all of the basic data off of these devices. It was all sitting at our fingertips. All I needed to do was be able to ask the right question and get that data back and be able to give that to people for cyber insurance policies and to make sure everybody's updates are current and to find out how old everybody's hardware is, even just the most basic information. Being able to do that is hugely important, and it makes it possible for people to have jobs like mine where I'm managing stacks and stacks of devices at a time and applying policies to loads of machines at once. You have 5, but you only have 5 machines, so you don't think you're a big deal. But if everybody here has 5 machines, I can manage everybody's machines all to the same standard in an afternoon, of quiet concentration. Sit over here with the right soundtrack on Apple Music and get everybody up to speed. And it's an easy thing to do because of MDM. And just even the onboarding and offboarding process. I have a new hire, not having somebody have to open the box and sit there and click install and get a USB drive and poke everything in the side and sit there and click OK on a bunch of agreements, all that kind of stuff. This is what makes all of that easier.
You just did a quick search on MDMs for Mark, or for Apple devices, and you're muted.
I need a cough button. Jamf is number one when it comes to that. But there's trade-offs. I mean, this was a ChatGPT search I just did, or I asked her or him you have Jamf, Kanji, and I think it was Oddly. I think it was. Those are the top 3. But that you can't count out like Microsoft, honestly, because Intune can manage Macs and iPads easily. We're kind of doing a mix of both. We're doing it both ways, but I'm finding Jamf as I'm learning it and more that it is more a bit more manageable when it comes to Macs. Doing a lot of heavy duty, with cellular stuff and all other things with iPads. I just got knee deep into this, so it's all new for me because we weren't in this world before, so now I am. So I'm seeing it firsthand. But yeah, I'm seeing it on both sides because Microsoft is definitely trying to get it. It has been going into this market for quite some time, and you can't ignore Intune for sure. You won't find that as a list for a Mac thing, but yeah, for sure.
No, but I think a lot of people leverage it because if you have a certain level of Microsoft license, they give you Intune. So I think a lot of people are using it because it's the tool that they have. It just may not necessarily be something they actively sought out.
Yeah. Until Microsoft decides to charge for it. That's another discussion. Jeff?
Okay, so to add to the list that Dave found, another company that pops up on this list periodically is Ninja One. iMazing is getting into the MDM game too.
Forgot about
I'm going to call out the little company that a lot of people seem to not realize does MDM, and that's Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do find it interesting that when we talk about Apple-focused MDM, I'm betting no one was thinking, oh yeah, and Apple does that.
It's a good point, Jeff. It's a real good point. It's such an obvious solution. We all overlook it.
I mean, Apple Business Manager. I mean, that starts it right
essentials.
there.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Apple Business Essentials is an actual thing that Apple offers.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have what is it? Deployment platform.
Yeah.
Is that the other thing?
Yeah.
That's part of Business Manager.
Oh, okay.
Or Business
Part of it.
Essentials. Business Essentials. Yeah. Once again, Apple and naming.
Yeah, but Kelly,
But yeah,
is this another example of Apple just not publicizing one of its or some of its solutions,
Yeah.
or because they don't publicize that maybe there's tech press, and so therefore they don't get the tech press. But I know that I've talked to some of the Apple business people, and they're very aware, and they seem to be very busy, and their customers are very happy. So is it just kind of a quiet thing that nobody talks about?
I think so. And I think part of that is as you get into it, because if you make business purchases, if you set yourself up with a member of the Apple business team, you have an Apple business account because you are a business. We're just going to say business a whole bunch of times here. It'll stop being a word any minute now. And when you set up that account, every device that you purchase through that account at any Apple store anywhere is automatically registered in what's called an ABM account, Apple Business Manager. It shows up in there automatically, and you can go log into your portal and you can see here are all the devices that were bought under MacVoices LLC. Here's everybody's laptop. Here's everybody's phone. Da 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 da. You can see all of those, and Apple has built out I am not slighting it in the least. It is a lightweight platform. If you don't need much more than what Business Manager gives you, working hand in hand with Business Manager is Apple Business Essentials. So you can pay for this other platform so that you can have a little bit of management of those devices, push software updates to make sure everybody's on Mac OS 26 or iOS 26 or whatever it is. You can see what information you can get from those. You can get basic data about each of those machines. You can check the warranty status, those kinds of things. If you don't need more than that, that is a really great way to get the basic stuff that you need out of what device management can do for you. But yeah, a lot of people don't know about it. The Apple Business Manager side, you can specify which MDM it is that you use. So you can go log into that account and go, I use Jamf, and feed it Jamf information. Here's my instance. And then it will automatically put those devices in your MDM for you, whether it's Jamf or Mosyle or Jump Cloud or Simple MDM or Nano MDM, Ninja One, Kanji, and all whatever they are. You can go set that up and it will automatically feed them to your device management. Now, if you don't have to set up any stuff like that, then you can use Business Essentials to do that. It's very reasonably priced if that's a thing that you need. And it has a very similar interface to that Apple Business Manager account. So it's a very easy way to do what you need to do. If you don't have another option to do it and you're sort of, my job title is X, which doesn't have anything to do with technology, but I know the most. And so this has fallen to me. If you are that person, this is a great platform for you because you could cover all the basic stuff, but you don't have to go learn a ton of things because it's something that already looks like something that you're familiar with, which is super helpful. And what I have noticed about it is that it is very easy to bump up against a limitation in it. If you have a specific need for compliance or something like that, you need something a little more substantial than what that is. And I'm not saying that that's good or bad. It just is the way that it is. It's easy to bump up against those limitations in lots and lots of MDMs. I mean, people do it in Jamf all the time too. So there are options available to you, and I don't think it gets publicized because Apple doesn't publicize a lot on the enterprise side. Period. Yep. You don't hear a lot about most of that stuff unless you're watching some of the sessions after the keynote at WWDC. Like, unless you're actively seeking out some of those things, you don't find out much about them at all.
I'm going to move us on from this topic. We could be here for a while. Because
we could be a while here.
It's
here all night.
It's interesting. It's very interesting.
Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, Consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.